Hey Andrew, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Oh man, I'm enjoying life and it's kind of warm today, but I was able to put some meat on the grill yesterday. So I'm doing good. Right on. So right now I'm currently having a 30 vets in 30 days. This is my 19th episode. I'm talking with Andrew Yarbrough. He's a transitioning service member from the Navy. My goal is to put a person behind a picture of a transitioning service member on LinkedIn. I have a hashtag tomzacher Veterans Advice YouTube channel, which is where you see a full-length video of all these sessions that I've had, and a LinkedIn group with the exact same name on it. My only hard rule for the LinkedIn group is no military profile picture. And all these views are of myself and not associated with the company that I work for. But this video is not about me. It's about Andrew. Who is Andrew?
So, Andrew actually is a Navy veteran who has been in for about 6 years, and I've been in IT for about 6 years. And I've really done radio telecommunications for those past 6 years, but come to find out that that skill set isn't really as transferable as I thought it would be. And I've really come to find out that I have a really good knack for working with people and working with veterans as they transition out themselves. And so I've decided that, come January 2022, when I do decide to get out, I'm going to go and be an IT recruiter. I'm kind of just hoping to take my technical acumen and utilize that as I recruit for a company for IT.
That sounds awesome. So you're eligible for employment in January of 22, right?
Yes.
Right on, man. Cool. So you've been in Navy, you said about 6 years, you said?
Yeah, about six
Okay,
years.
right on. Over that 6 years, have you obtained any education or certification along the way, or are those still in progress right now?
So originally, I was going to do the IT route and go and be a system administrator when I got out. So I was pursuing a bachelor's in science and cloud computing with Western Governors University, and it's a really good school. And they were giving me certifications. I was working on my A plus, and I was going to work on my security plus. But life happened, and I wasn't able to complete the degree or get any of those certifications. And I had to take a step back. And while I was taking that step back, a lot of people approached me and said, "Hey, you should look into being a recruiter."
Okay, okay, that sounds awesome, man. I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you that life it happens always, and it usually happens when you don't expect it. And sometimes you may not understand at that current moment when things are going on in your life until maybe about 6 months later, you'll be thinking, man, that probably was the best thing for me right there. I'm really happy this did happen right here because it helped me think about things differently. So, man, that sounds awesome, man. So, 6 months from now, I'll probably hit you up if I want to get another job, then, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to work with you, Tom.
Right on, right on. So, you talk a little bit about your job title, but what do you really do in the Navy in normal words, normal terminology, where somebody in the Navy doesn't understand what radio comms means?
Right. So I just tried to make sure that the communication was happening between one entity and another,
Okay.
or a little bit of internet services for the ship, right?
Oh,
With radio telecommunications on a ship, you have to make sure that there is internet from the satellite.
absolutely. And I know firsthand working tech control on ship, any little thing can cause something to go down and you have 10, 20 people screaming down your neck, wanting you to fix it and get it back operational right away. So personally, I fully understand. I've done that role, so I understand. But right on. So you get out of the Navy. I know you say you want to be an IT recruiter, but what type of title is there for that? Is it just called recruiter, or is it called talent acquisition, or is there certain words or terminology with the word recruiter?
So I'm actually finding that out myself that there's different types of recruiters. Apparently, there's like an executive recruiter. There's just human resources recruiter. Different fields. So for me, I'm looking to do technical recruiter. That's the
Okay,
actual title for it. And then an IT firm, or maybe not even an IT firm, since we are coming to find out that IT is a bigger career field than it used to be.
IT is everywhere. Every company, everyone needs IT, I believe, because that's how. I think that's how we help make things communicate that way. So yeah, we need people qualified to get in there to get the job done. We need people to look for that qualified talent. So that sounds awesome. Right on. So now that you're getting out of the military, with that military telling you where you want to live, where do you want to go? Where do you want to live?
So I had to figure it out. It wasn't as easy as I thought. For me, I'm single. I don't have a wife or kids, a dog, or anything holding me back. And so I kind of looked at a map and said, wow, I can go anywhere. And so I originally looked at Washington, D.C., going back home to Florida, Colorado Springs. But I kind of was doing a couple of events online, and a lot of people were hyping up San Antonio, Texas. So I just got back after a week there. That's where I'm headed next.
And how was vacation?
It was actually really nice. It was actually really nice. I'm grateful for the people that took time out of their day to see me.
I know you posted some awesome pictures. And I'm like, man, that looks so much fun. Great pictures you posted. So I know we chat back and forth online. We hit each other up. We got each other's cell phone numbers. But
Mhm.
do you remember how we first met?
Yeah, I was on LinkedIn, and I was trying to figure it out. Really, I was like, okay, LinkedIn, professional version of Facebook, got it. And so you hit me up one day, and you were like, hey, remove that military profile picture. It's like, okay. So I put a normal profile picture. That's not a professional photo. And I said, what do you mean? Well, hey, this is a professional website. You need that professional photo. And I said, okay, cool. So what brings you to LinkedIn? I was like, I don't know. I'm trying to build my network. Okay, network for what? I said, I'm getting out, being an IT administrator. And so you were the one of the really big people that helped me on LinkedIn, just saying, hey, here's what LinkedIn is all about. Here's what networking is all about. This is a professional platform, no politics, memes, anything like that. This is more so life accomplishments, people getting out, people getting a new job, getting those certifications that you speak about, and posting it here.
Awesome. Awesome. Hopefully I was semi-friendly with you on the conversations we had. I kept it semi PG related, hopefully.
Definitely, definitely.
But I think ever since I started talking with you, explaining things to you, showing you a few things a little bit, man, you just started to grow and grow, and you got a really huge network now. I mean, you have people all the time coming to you wanting to share resumes, and you're helping people and providing advice, and I think that's phenomenal. I'm really happy, I guess personally, to see where you were 1 year later, where you are now. It's To me, I'm just overly impressed. You've done a really great job, Andrew.
Well, thank you. I really learned the power of networking. I mean, we sit here and we talk about events like Vets to Industry, LinkedIn, Mill City, those networking events, and COVID really helped build that network because a lot of us were staying at home and had a little bit more free time when we weren't, commuting to the office or on base, right? And so with the power of networking, I kind of just said, hey, if I have 5 minutes of my time or 1 or 2 minutes, I can get on Facebook and post a meme. I can get on LinkedIn and share a resume and really change a transitioning service member's life, because that transition isn't as easy as we thought it is. And so with that transition, it's easier for me to say, hey, I've been through that transition, I'm going through that transition, and just share that advice of here's where I was. And this guy named Tom, reached out to me. If you're not connected with him, you really should be. And then here's a couple other names that I know in the, Denver, San Antonio, Tampa area that you should connect with, and they can help you start that networking event.
So, so you got a really great segue here going on. So speaking of networking and people and organizations or webinars, who's all helped you in your process? I mean, I'm pretty sure you reached out to a few people, you talked to some people, you attended a few
Yeah.
events.
Mm-hmm.
What resources did you use?
Well, the first one that I'll say is Vets to Industry. If you haven't heard of them, it's this website created by Brian Arrington as a founder, and he was a transitioning service member himself, and he said, okay, I have to figure this transition out, and a lot of resources started coming to him, and so then he built this website called Vets to Industry right around, I want to say 2019, and it's this website, and it's just a database of resources for veterans, but it's not only just veterans. It's your Gold Star families, it's your mill spouses, it's for veterans that have gotten out, maybe 5-10 years ago, when vets industry wasn't a thing. And you know I definitely would say Sam and Ray Domingo with their LinkedIn Mill City, and on top of that they've got the K.E.Y mentorship. That's also a really good one. But the mentorship with the K.E.Y is also, really good if you stack that with companies like ACP and Veterati. If you haven't heard of those are really good ones. Being able to pick your mentor and say, hey, maybe I didn't like his personality, or he was a little bit too blunt from my personality. Let's find somebody else, and it's really good that people that have gone through the transition or they're working in the industry can take an hour and say, hey, I'm a business manager at Microsoft. Let me tell you a little bit about Microsoft. Maybe this is a company you want to work for when you get out. And I have a whole list of people that I could keep going on with, but really, anybody I give advice to, those are the main ones that I tell them, because the name speaks for itself.
Awesome. You mentioned some really great organizations, some really awesome people. Yeah, I'm part of all those, been to all those events. So ACP for me, I didn't learn about it till probably about my last 3-4 months during my transition.
Mhm.
I wish I would have known about it at my 18 months mark or my 12 months mark, but I didn't learn about it till like my last 3-4 months in the Navy, because I was in the Hiring Our Heroes program with Elizabeth Garcia. And that's when I learned about ACP. I was like, let me check this out. Let me get a hold of somebody. And so I got a hold of someone. He helped me out some. I mean, he gave me some knowledge. He helped me think about things I didn't think about. He helped me learn about contracting terminology. What's the difference of being a contractor? I suppose work a regular company, what questions to ask on an interview, and what question to ask a recruiter, which I thought to me is very helpful, because I'm a pretty big believer in you don't know what you don't know. There's so much information out there, and if you don't know it, you don't know it. Don't know, ask a question, you probably won't. Then you're like, oh man, I wish I would have known about this question. I could have got this much information, but I don't know the answer. So awesome. So you told me a little bit about your education and certification you had going on, or you were working on. What would you consider as this is a 2-part question. What would you consider as your top greatest achievement? And what is maybe one of your top failures you've had so
Mhm.
far?
So I'd kind of say that both of them really go hand in hand, right?
Okay.
So in my career in the Navy, everybody as a human, as an adult, we make mistakes, and so it happened to me. I made a mistake in the Navy. I got busted down in rank, and I kind of learned a life lesson, which is choose your words carefully, right? And so when you make a mistake like that, you start to think about what you say and choosing your words a lot carefully, which helped me become a little bit more of a professional, right? And when I met you and I started building this LinkedIn, I kind of said, hey, this isn't Facebook. I can't go post a meme or something political and talk however I want to. I have to say things a certain way, and it will also build a better personal brand for myself. And so I'd like to say that my greatest achievement so far in my life is really just LinkedIn, building that network of ITs and veterans, people that are in the aviation field. I may not know everything in your career field, but I'm going to try to do my best to say, oh, well, hey, you're going to San Antonio, talk to this person. Oh, you're wanting to look for Lockheed Martin, go talk to Tom, or Ray Domingo, right? Go talk to those people. Because if I don't know, I know somebody who can help, who can then, maybe reach out to somebody else. And that's really the power of networking. Because another lesson that I've learned in the Navy is it's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
100%. Yes. Yeah. I've had a few failures in my life too, so I fully understand what you're talking about. And And thanks for sharing that personal story there. But even the failure I had, I learned a lot from it,
Mhm.
and still remind myself of it all the time. But it's just something you got to work through, and something you got to work around, and just get over it and try to push through and keep on making good things happen, because one failure that you have doesn't determine who you are.
Right.
It's how you recover from it and how you learn from it is what I feel makes a difference in that situation. So yeah, awesome. So you start to go work for a new company. In that process, you have a thing called onboarding. So when you first start to work with them, what kind of things would you be looking forward to for the onboarding process with your first company?
I'd say being in the military has taught you to act and speak and work a certain way, and that structure, right, which is a good thing for something like the military. For me, with my personality, though, I like to crack jokes, just be my own person. And I think it'll be interesting to meet other people and their personalities, just fit into that company culture, see what that company culture is like. When I was in San Antonio, I was able to go to a company. It was an IT company, and I met an old friend, and she showed me around. But
Oh wow.
one of the biggest things that was really interesting was I walked into the office, and there was a huge ping pong table in the middle of it. The two guys were just playing ping pong, and then there was a couple of Nerf guns on the wall, and it was a really big, like geeky, nerdy IT company. But hey, somebody came out of the back and was like, "Hey, we need to get this done." That stopped. They got it done, and then we went right back to playing ping pong, and I really enjoyed that.
Wow. That sounds really awesome. I don't have that where I work,
No,
but
same.
I'm gonna I'll make sure I mention that to my manager Monday, and I'll say, hey, by the way, we need to open you that desk right there. We need to tear down the little walls around it, put up a little net, get some little paddles going on, and there we go. Throw a little more out on the workspace. I think that would be
Mhm.
awesome.
Yes.
Wow, that sounds really cool. Awesome. So you talked about how you do IT work right now. You work with comms and satellite, satcom and such. And you're wanting to go and be a recruiter for IT professionals to go find the next employment. What type of struggles or what type of stress do you have going on between now and 6 months from now in order to get into that type of job field? Or is that just something you're like, I can do it? It's easy.
So for me, I'd probably say the experience. I might have done IT, whether that's radio telecommunications or your actual servers, computers, for 6 years, but I don't have any actual recruiting experience. On my resume, it's going to have nothing but IT, IT, IT. And so what I'm really worried about is being able to take that acumen and say, hey, give me a shot. Let me be a recruiter for your company. I've got enough confidence to say I can talk to people and sell the company, but having that actual experience on the resume is something that people look for. Don't have it.
Okay. Have you been talking with other recruiters and asking them, how can I do this, or how can I articulate this information on my resume or anything like that?
Yeah, so I'm actually in the process of working with somebody, and they're going to help me revamp my resume, not really taking away from the IT experience that I have, but kind of just saying, hey, he's got the IT experience and he's also got these personable skills or maybe these certifications, and put that on my resume so that it's more well rounded for a recruiting position.
Wow, that sounds awesome. I like that. That's a really great way to take a struggle and make it turn that into a positive, and just just go sky high with that one. That sounds awesome. I really like that. Good stuff. Awesome. So we're kind of close to the 25-minute mark. This is usually when I like to ask the person I'm talking with, do you have any questions for me? Because I've been sitting here asking you a whole bunch of questions. You've been telling me a whole bunch of information. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I remember when we first met, you were talking about how you were an ISSO in the Navy, and now you're an ISSO at a company outside of the Navy. What are some of the differences that you've experienced being an ISSO in the Navy or an ISSO as a civilian?
Yeah, that's a really great question. couple of things I realized or noticed is I was an ISO only for my last tour in the Navy. So I wasn't an ISO for 15 years in the Navy kind of thing, running everything, learning everything ground up, right? Well, my last tour in the Navy, I was a chief or an E7, right? And you are not expected to be the technical matter guy. You're expected to be the leader. You're expected to have situational awareness and have people explain things to you. I suppose you're the actual one pushing the buttons. You're the one adding the inventory into the SSP or taking inventory out of the maybe the program that you use to take for information in and out of the program. And at the same time, being a technical person was probably about 30 or 40% of my job. The other 60% of my job was management and tracking people down and training and finding people, make sure they sign certain things, writing awards, writing evals, midterm counselings, providing mentorship. So that's what I did while I was in the Navy for the last 3 years, at least, among other things, right? But then my current job right now, I mean, the expectation is you're there for 9 hours a day. I don't have anybody under me. I'm not a leader at my work. I'm just whatever level I am. I work with one other person. I get a manager. So you don't work with a group of like 15 people and you need to provide information out to everyone kind of thing. So it's really different because you're there for 9 hours a day to do a job. Your job isn't to go around and provide leadership, mentorship, and writing awards and evals and such. Your job is, or for me at least, I'm there as a tech. So I'm there to be a tech for 9 hours a day, every day. So it's kind of a change. It's kind of a good change because you get to be more hands-on. And that's what I wanted to be personally. I want to be more hands-on in my process, more hands-on in job knowledge, more subject matter expert kind of thing is what I'm trying to aim for. And I'm still trying to aim for it every day. There's a lot of things I don't know, a lot of questions I have to ask. And I ask a lot of those questions. So, but awesome. I like that question. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So my last question for you is, I'm sorry. Yes, was that?
No,
Okay.
I was just saying that that's really profound.
Awesome. Thanks. So my last question for you is, between now and we'll say 6 months from now or 8 months from now, what can I do to help you, if anything, with your transition or your process or anything? Is there anything I can help you with?
No, I really would say that you're already doing enough. I mean, you're helping people build that profile or get rid of that military profile picture and kind of transition from military to civilian. And some of the people that you're sharing, you tag me in, so that helps me, help other people. And so there's nothing really that you can do to help. I would say that you're doing enough already, and I appreciate that.
Oh, wow. Thanks. I think it's really important people get to know other people and learn there's more than one person to reach out to, and learn there's more than one set of information or advice out there. So
Yes. And we really, I think that would really just go back to the power of networking, not only having somebody to help you with that job interview or that job search, but just, hey, I'm dealing with this job search or this transition. I need to vent to somebody, or I'm not really sure where to go next.
absolutely. Like I said earlier in the video, I mean, you don't know what you don't know. And until you start reaching out, asking questions, someone else out there may already know the answer, but you don't know this until you start asking questions and be a little more open-minded, as opposed to thinking you already know all the answers yourself. So yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, hey, I really appreciate you having time this afternoon to talk to me. I know you got things going on. You got back from a really busy trip. But yeah, you had some time available to sit down and talk to me. I really appreciate it. So thank you for everything you do, Andrew. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's not a problem. I enjoy helping people, and it's something I'm going to keep doing for a while.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, hey, you take care. You have a good one, okay?
All right, we'll do. Have a good one.
All right. See you there.
Bye.